Okay, I want to say hello again everybody, it's only me, Wushu Richard. I'm a bit sad, I'm a sad, no, I'm joking, I'm a little bit sad because I made a video already. I made what was supposed to be this video, but I made a video and I accidentally deleted the damn thing. So I'm having to kind of redo it, but it's okay because this is going to be a new fresh take on it, you know. And it's happened to a lot of people, I'm sure, you know, where sometimes you make a video or you know you spend a long time on doing something, especially like digital work, you know, and it like gets deleted, you know. Oh my god. Anyway, but don't worry, you lose it. But I'm here now in the flesh, bones, blood and atoms and cells and whatever the fuck, you know. Energy of the universe brings me together, holds me in this position of constant flow. Okay, what the fuck? So basically, I'm making this video as a follow-up. This video is really like a follow-up to the last video I made, which was a very deep video. You saw me there, as usual, expressing myself freely, as I say, and I do. I'm not going to be funny. I mean, I express myself freely. I'm not trying to put a point across, you know, and tell people that this is what it is. You know, what I believe in is better than anybody else, is what they do, and you know, what I say goes. I'm not doing that at all. Nothing's like concrete like that, you know what I mean? Of course not. Who am I? If something's if you like what you do, then that's fair enough, right? But in the last video I made, okay, I say, it was called Get Real Martial Arts. Okay, Get Real Martial Arts. And well, the best advice would actually be to get real martial arts as well. get that, you know, in your life. But basically, you know, I got some support. I got some nice comments and messages. Okay, I want to say thank you for the recent support, everybody. Okay, I will especially say thank you to a few people that have been supporting me recently. Demsley, my bro, of course. Okay, Demsley. Hi, Chuck, if you're watching too. Thanks. But Demsley, okay, Chuck, of course. Bill, the legend. Mike Reese. Hello, Mike Reese. I'll talk about you in a moment. Clive McKenzie, bro, yeah. Jason Stork. Hi, Dan Bowen, if you're there. I'll also thank you to, of course, Bob Sykes. Okay, and you know, Emil. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, definitely though, oh yeah, hold on 1 second, again, Craig Flippy and your team, okay, the film people who are doing that, okay, so Jason Stork, Craig Flippy and the other guy, please excuse me for forgetting your name in this particular video, okay, but epic, okay, I'm happy to be able to work with you guys. Okay, let me just start this video, right? Basically then, in the last video I was expressing myself freely, and it did come across, yeah, as I would expect it to come across. It comes across as azzy, you know, it comes across as very, like, I wasn't expressing myself very like a dickhead, but it come across like me just battering everybody with my ideas about things, and what it seems to be like, it comes across, I'm pretty sure, even watching it back, I'm sure that, you know, it comes across as though I'm trying to put out a point to everybody and let them think follow what I'm saying, take it as, you know, the gospel truth and all that. I'm not doing that at all. Okay, I'm not asking anyone to follow it. I'm not trying to batter people with my opinions and that. This is exactly what you're doing, man. I know. What I'm saying is, like, it came across as though I was like swearing. I was like, oh, you say rattled my cage. Who rattled my cage? You know, what's the problem? I know. I'm very, very aware, believe me. And it seems like I was just like going off on one, and I wasn't at all going on about any like clear points. I wasn't making myself clear on any points, right? Now, what can we do then? First of all, the only thing I can say is, sorry if it came across that way. I want to say, you know, I do express myself freely, and it's not like swearing or being offensive, like directing it towards anyone. But I will, like, you know, speak my mind, and And the only thing I can say is in this video is I can just basically talk about a few basic points in this video. The first thing I will say is this is going to need a lot of video. It's just like the best thing to do would actually be to train in martial art, to train something and feel in yourself the development, because there's no way people can understand what I'm saying. Through videos, you just can't explain very well what I'm trying to say. I just can't do it. But not because I can't do it, but it's just because it's just the way is through training. It's through training, right? And that sounds so hypothetical. It sounds so like nice to the ear, but it's not like it's like it's just not it doesn't help at all. So what I'm going to say is, okay, what the fuck am I going to say? But basically, it's like we're going to have to make more videos though and cover like different points if there's any hope or any chance of sharing any better knowledge with people. I think enlightening people, which is my goal, trying to help people to open their minds more, trying to look deeper into what, at least try to get an idea of what I'm trying to say, and try to be able to find more truths in their training and in themselves, rather than just doing whatever it is they're doing now. Now in this video I can only go over a few points in this first one. First of all, let's get on to one point. The first thing I want to say is thank you for everybody for supporting me on that last video, and especially of course you got Demsley and Bill, thanks bros, and also another bro, Mike Reese. Hi Mike Reese, you always love to communicate, and you know what, I expected you to come with those comments, but it's like, I know Mike Reese, okay guys, is a very, very good martial artist, and he's more open-minded, and so he's more open-minded than a lot of martial artists out there, especially of today, like MMA and that, I know he says he's, you say you've trained people for the rings and stuff, right Mike? Okay, fair enough. And as I say, I respect people for doing whatever they want to do in their lives, So it's very hard for me, it's like, because I can go into any area of the moral and morality and different kind of aspects that surround martial arts, and then I can go into the actual martial arts themselves and go into many aspects of that, and then I can go even deeper and start talking about the mind, the soul, the inner spirit of the martial arts. But none of these three realms, okay, the outer realm, which is all the many aspects which are the martial arts philosophy and morality in life, and a person's mind, psychology and that, philosophy and that, And then, as I say, I know what I'm saying, the second thing is the martial arts themselves, and lots of aspects of that, and then within the actual martial arts, the deeper stuff, like the internal, the mindset and all of the spiritual energy and all this. I can go so deep, and it will be like video upon video after video after video. One thing you can't do, anyone, is, and I'm not saying it because of course I want to get more views on my videos, I want more people to watch my videos on that, whether it be long or short, I do what I do to share. Inconvenience and that, but it's like, I'm just saying, the honest truth is, you can't just watch. I'm not expecting people to watch my babbling and crap, I'm saying that I could make lots of videos, and if people haven't got the patience to actually watch each one of the videos, if I was to go into proper detail about exactly what I'm trying to share, and it's some knowledge, I don't put myself up on any level like wisdom, that I'm the master and I know everything. I'll say literally share what I'm willing to share, my bit and what I know, or I definitely know what I'm talking about, for God's sake. I'll just share my bit. If no one's got the patience to actually watch every one as I'm speaking, you can argue the whole way through if you like, anyone, you can just watch them and come out with your own ideas and all that. Fair enough, the human mind's there to think, it's not there to follow, just only, so good for you. I'm saying that I would make videos on different aspects, but one thing you can't do is like missing things. You can't take a page, like you take a page out of a book or something, or a page out of a story or something. Is that story still going to be the same story? No, it's not, because you've taken that piece out of it. And the way I see it is, or some part of a movie script or something, you take that out. The way I see it is, it all should have some effect. It all should be connected as one thing. You know what I mean? it's like you can have a whole system of karate or something, and then you say, okay, let's take out the horse stance and continue. Oh, it's okay, we still have the whole system. Bullshit, no, why would someone want to take that horse stance out? You need that as part of the training, for fuck's sake. If it's not useful to the whole thing, it's like that screw or that thing, that thing that's part of a structure holding a bridge together or something. There should be use to that, shouldn't there? You should be used to it. You say it's only extra. If it's not extra, I'm saying, let's go back to what I'm saying there. God, the more knowledge the better, right? It's like, if I plan to do that and make more videos and explain in detail my philosophy, every time I use the word philosophy, it seems like it's something that I'm thinking and I need to be, like it's my mind against somebody else's mind. I'm not doing that. I'm speaking from what I know and feel and in the real training what it is. And okay, so I'm trying to say but every time I share my ways and my understanding through videos, if people are just going to only watch some, or just watch one or two bits and then pick bits they don't like, or be it the way I'm expressing myself, or this or that, then it defeats a lot of the point. Like, you'll see me in some videos speaking nice and gently, just like I'm speaking to you now. I'm not swearing and going off in one way. It's not because sometimes I'm a complete maniac. It's not that. It's because I'm in control and I know exactly what I'm trying to express in each video. Now, it comes out better and better other times. But it's like, if you bear with me then, and I would use more patience, I'd be more patient and share more useful points, just from my point of view, not forcing it on people in different videos. That's what I'd like to do. The first thing then, let's cover a few things, okay, a few good things, okay, very good. Mike Reese mentioned, and this is great because I love this communication, and it's fair communication as well, not like some other people who just put you down here left and right. Now that's the first thing I want to say first of all. The first thing is the reason I come across so strong and so, I'm not ratty that way. It's like when I'm getting angry, or when I'm not angry, or when I'm swearing, or when I'm strongly expressing myself like that, that's because I've got a reason for that. And I've watched videos of my own accord, my own choice, fair enough, but I've watched videos where there are people either from the MMA slating traditional martial arts, or there are people who are supposedly doing traditional martial arts, and they're giving their whole life to it and they care about the traditional martial arts, but there are these other people who do the traditional martial arts, and when they start sticking up for it, they're not doing it right because they're not training right and their mind's still elsewhere. You get people that are just a bit sad, they hate to see their own traditional martial arts getting battered by today's modern, more supposedly improved fighting ways, and they start to come up with these things saying, well, of course, karate or taekwondo might lose in a ring fight or Wing Chun because it's a different environment, and things were made for different situations and different fighting styles developed in different situations, different times, and are made for different things. There's even things like self-defense classes. I've done some self-defense training as well, and blah, blah, blah. What the fuck? I'm saying seriously, realistically, you cannot separate all of that. It's all one thing, right? It's all what it is in training, reality of this whole thing, right? It is. So, the problem with these people, though, who keep doing that, is they're trying to make excuses and they're trying to defend the traditional arts, but truthfully, they don't know. And if they did end up in the ring, they'd probably get beaten down by this MMA too. And the reason why, I'm not blaming these people, but the reason why it happens is because they just don't have the knowledge. I'm not saying I'm a master and I know everything about it, I'm saying they really don't have that knowledge. And the best thing you could do is train more and be more realistic in your training. A lot of these traditional martial artists, it's true what the MMA guys say, they train it for the art, and they do the katas, they do the forms of that, and they do very, very good, even like Aikido drills. I'm a massive fan of Aikido, but I'm saying so many people, as you know, so many people just do these moves and play around, but it's not like they don't do it as good as some other schools, and they just do it for the drill of it, for the movement and the martial arts. But you get these MMA guys out there who are doing hardcore, brutal fighting, and believe me, I know that there's like roots in tradition and things like that, and I know there are like traditional martial arts. There are MMA guys who who have like a traditional background. I understand that, and things like JKD and Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. I know that it's got roots and stuff. I'm just saying, some of these guys though, just in the fighting aspect, I'm saying, they're just mainly like doing brutal fighting combat with a few martial arts style strategies in there. And when I see it, of course, it's less martial artsy, right? Or less. I could even use their own language and turn that around and rephrase that in MMA people language, and I will say it's less showy and fancy like the traditionalists. Because that's what they see it as, and that's true. They're right in what they're saying. The traditional martial artists, a lot of them today, are just doing that fancy thing, traditional moves. But let's face it, how much of that are they going to use in a real fight? You see so many Wing Chun schools, and they go into sparring, and straight away it's like boxing again. Because when you're going to use your sticky hands and all that, it's just not working. And what I'm saying is it's all messed up, and that's what makes me get so angry. I was like, that's so fucked up, it really is, it really wiles me, it gets me, I'm not going to go off on one, to see, but what the hell are they doing? And there should be more to be done to preserve these arts. People are dying year after, I know it's a sad thing, we can't control it, but it's like, if they knew, these real ancient martial arts were designed to be so good, real combat effective for so many methods. The people are just training wrong, they're not questioning things enough, they just take what it is, follow like robots, just like Bruce Lee said. It's like, Bruce Lee kind of, I don't want to talk about him too much, I'm not a massive fan of Bruce Lee, he was good at what he did, I know. But Bruce Lee, changed everyone's lives in the martial arts. Bruce Lee changed everyone's mind to become more open-minded, to like mix different arts and things and be more fluid like a human being and fight like a human being. And he improved that. But he could have also had an impact. There was the possibility of a chance there that he could have left an impact on the traditional world more so too, where traditional martial artists would have thought about what they're doing and try to stay true, preserving their art, but making them work as they were originally designed for. The original martial arts, no matter how fancy you see these forms and things and cutters, yeah, fair enough, a lot of moves are there, and you say like the way they do it for the cutters is like for exercise, for training, for focus, and like the training is like designed for that. It's not like exactly how you would use it in a fight, but I'm saying some of that. What I'm saying is I totally believe that a lot of these cutters and forms, oh, you believe that, do you? You believe that, do you? Yeah, please hear me out, for God's sake, I'm just trying to say the point. A lot of these forms and true traditional martial arts, the whole package, whatever it came with, the development of these arts, came from reality training. Not only the health, which was true, of course, but it was also to do with real combat, and these moves were there for real fighting. People are just not seeing the applications, they're not thinking of how to use these applications. So traditional martial arts are being put down all the damn time by not every MMA guy out there, but by a lot of people. You see people people have not even done martial arts in their lives before, or very little, and there's people out there who still want to say, oh yeah, you want a black belt, and they make fun out of it, they make fun of it, oh, you can show me how to chop a brick or something, and they're just making a stupid joke out of it, like, it was never real, it was just this fancy phase we went through. People were so gullible before they'd follow anyone who had learned this mystical martial arts from somebody in a gig, and that's what they try and talk about, but they didn't realise that they're being so dumb now, because the real true stuff was true, and it's more real than just mystical BS like people think. It was real, it was the real deal, and it was so effective, the reality of that training. Now, I'm not even going on to any deep level, I haven't even started to talk yet, I have not even started to talk yet. All I'm doing now is explaining why I'm so passionate and strong about trying to share the point about the true martial arts and get people's minds open and start looking into it rather than turning your back on it and being so ignorant. That's really wrong. If people don't want to do it, fair enough. If they don't like it, fair enough. Can't control it. They want to do MMA. It's like it works. You can beat someone down to the ground and ground and pound and wrap your legs around their face and have their face on your groin. And they want to do ground game jiu-jitsu and sport fighting and competition, so that everybody around them says they're great. Because if they don't get that, then they're not worth half the life they were born into. Yeah, but I'm just saying, people want to live in that world today, and there's nothing you can do to change them. And there are people out there who are very positive too, and there are people out there who it just suits them, and they like what they're doing, and well done to those people. I'm saying it, I balance this out, I'm not just trying to put people down, but I'm saying this is a really deep, wonderful knowledge in the traditional martial arts, and people just don't have a clue. They don't have a clue about the actual training of it. And you turn to a lot of these so-called traditional martial artists today, it's like, I know straight away myself, I don't regard myself as so great, but sometimes I'm talking to someone who's a traditional martial artist, so, oh, you do this, do you, or you do that, I've met people before, and it's like, and they start talking, and it's like, oh my God, it's just like, they're just living in another world, they just can't see it at all, and I think to myself, come on man, what are you doing? Because the guys just want to go into a real fight, but they're not learning the real deal. A lot of these guys might as well go and learn MMA the way they carry on. A lot of these guys come out of the school and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'll really go off on one in this. If I start this next topic, I'm not going to do this. I'll do this in another video, I think, if you've got patience to watch it anyway. I'm just saying, really. But it's like, there are people, in my British accent, people, I love that when you hear like American people making fun, not making fun, but American people trying to do a British accent, and then you see British people trying to do an American accent. Some people are really good at doing different accents, British doing American, American doing British, or doing Australian. I like to play around myself with different accents, as for fun, just for fun in some of my videos and that, like my cartoons, I make, my cartoons and that, I make some cartoons. I do that for fun, but it's fun, but, it's just interesting. But I'm just saying, I just forgot what the F I was saying anyway. But basically, the thing I was going to say, what was that? Oh, you're lucky, man, I've just forgotten what I was just going to say. Damn, I just forgot the actual point what I was going to say now. But but basically about in life in general, so how people use the martial arts, philosophy, I don't know what I'm talking about here. What was I going to say to you? I've just totally forgot. Babbling again, like Babylon 5. And really, what was I going to say? Martial arts, so the physical training is one thing, I will say again to Mike Reese, again from Mike Reese, and Mike Reese had a good point. Mike Reese was talking about points such as, I remember what I was going to say. Let me just say about Mike Reese first of all. Mike Reese was also mentioning things such as, was it Tutankhamun? I don't even know, Egypt or something. He was talking about people in the past who have been teaching fighting arts, and there's been fighting styles that have been going through years and centuries of training, and it's true, like training up their warriors and stuff across different continents and different kinds of fighting skills, and like nothing's really that original, and the MMA kind of stuff was around back then. It's just a different time, So what we're saying though is that I totally understand. And another point I want to say, is everybody, if you've not seen my video, I made a video called Stop All Violence Now. I think it was called Stop All Violence Now. That video I really hoped you could see. It's like an hour to half an hour, fair enough, but it's like I speak deeply about my thoughts on that, and it's like something I really wanted to share with everybody, because I don't believe in violence at all. I hate it, and this is part of the piggishness that makes me want to stand up, and I kind of come across piggish when I come in, but it's like, that's what I'm trying to do with the traditional martial arts. I'm trying to spread the message of what it's really about. Yes, it was about morality. Yes, it was about stuff that's very, very deep and hard to comprehend. Yes, there was a lot of complexity in it. It wasn't an easy thing, right? Yes, it wasn't a different time. Yes, there is a lot of it is kind of there's a lot of questions you might ask along the way, but these are no excuses to blind you away from it and just go take the simple path and just go there, take a beating. Laying down, which is what they're really doing, right, on a mat, and going into competition sport like that in the MMA, is kind of stuff, right? For example, and then I'm saying slate this kind of stuff when it's got nothing to do, which could totally be on the point. There's no reason to like compare these two things really, traditional martial arts and that. And that's what I'm trying to say. Also, I'm just standing up for what it is and trying to get people to wake up and think about it. Anyway, going on to what I was saying though, the thing I wanted to say a moment ago was about how traditional martial arts, right, the philosophies are there, you know, for your life. Now, I'm going to say this and it might offend a few people, but I don't want to offend anyone, okay? I'm not going to swear, I'm not going to try and offend anyone, I'm going to say this. The way I live my life is, and I'm the same, I'm not perfect. I'm going to say this, right? Myself, I don't, okay, listen, I do not smoke, I do not drink alcohol, any alcohol, I don't drink beer or anything, I don't take drugs obviously, you know what I mean, I live a clean life. I live kind of like a monk, you know what I mean? It's like I live a peaceful life. I don't have a religion as such, but I live like that, you know what I mean? I live a peaceful, quiet life. I don't know if I told you I was living, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I was living captive like a prisoner for many years too, okay? So I've been through a damn lot, okay? Not in my own country either, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, okay? But I've been through a damn lot in my life. I said I was bullied when I was a kid, so it hasn't been the worst life, but I've been robbed. I'll say I've been robbed big time. But I've also gained a lot from having nothing. And truly from having nothing, and truly from being humble, can you find a bit of power and confidence in your heart to speak out your mind or to do anything well, I believe, okay? So what I'm trying to say, okay, is from my heart is I'm trying to share the truth of things. I'm speaking on a video camera and I feel this is the only way I can speak to people sometimes. I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful that we've got technology. Computers, you know, cameras, internet, today's modern websites, internet, and you know, I think it's great because I know damn well there's people out there, even nice people, some of my best, closest friends on YouTube, even you, okay, I'm not going to say your name, anyone who's watching this video, maybe you're my friends on YouTube who I regard as friends. I know that some of you, if I was to meet you face to face, I know that you would probably treat me, I'm not putting you down, I'm not saying you would for sure, but there are people out there that seem nice, but in real life they would treat me like I'm a little quiet, timid kid, and you would want to intimidate me. And I know you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, I don't know you, why would I do that, you know, but putting words in your mouth kind of thing. But it's like, really, I know because I've seen it many a time. I've learned that so many people in this world are nasty, especially when you are humble or when you're nice. And they just want to see it as pussy weakness. They want to advertise their own humbleness. They want to advertise how kind they are. You might say, well, I'm doing the same thing right now with a video, right? But I'm just saying, not many people can be truly honest. Heck, a word I don't always use, but, you know, I've seen monks and people that are supposed to be religious also, who also constantly are just putting it on because it's part of this and that, you know. It's like, I try to be good and be moral and be nice and kind to others because it's part of the martial arts, yes, but I don't do that because of this. I mean, I truly believe it. I do what I want to do. It's like I said, the martial arts made me who I am in my life. But I will say that it's you who makes you who you are also too. You know, it's like you, I was born for the martial arts, obviously, wasn't I? You know, it's like, it suits me for who I am. It suits my personality, excuse me for yawning. I'm tired with work. I'm a teacher, as I say, in universities and colleges in China. I've been teaching English for nearly 10 years now. Learning Chinese too. I can speak most Mandarin Chinese. My wife's Chinese. It's been very, very hard. I've been living here for years, you know, learning another culture, another language, everything, you know. My life is very, very simple. Now, I don't live like most people who go out drinking, go into the pubs, the bars, socialising, they call it. I look down upon shallowness. I'll say this. I'm not socialising is not shallow. You only socialise with who you can. It's like birds of a feather flock together, they say, right? So good luck to you. If you're positive, you are. Don't lie to yourself. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't take drugs, and I don't fall. I am not part of any society. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? No, if you don't live that life, you probably don't. I do not live I try my best to not live as part of society as such. It's like, if you want to be a part of something, you have to blend in and become that, to adapt, right? But you can't leave yourself. You must win in the end. There are many ways you can take. This way may not work for you, but you have to go that way, the other way that's working for others, and blend in and learn from the sort of, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But if you don't want to be in Rome, get the fuck out of there. You know, if you want to get to where you want to go down that way, there are many ways that can lead you there, some better than others. But if you don't want to go there, then go the other way. You know, you can't run away from yourself, because you could waste years and years of your life if you're not true to yourself, as I've said before. But what I'm saying is, for me, is I don't choose to live as part of the Azzy society. Azzy, as everybody knows, okay, Azimuth. For short, it's Azzy. It's a word that we made up, me and Demsley. It's a word, it's not a real word, it just means like ego people that have got this kind of like, this fucking ego syndrome. We just call this thing Azzy. And I have a cartoon which I made, a cartoon series which I made by myself, which is called Azzy Banger, about a superhero who beats the shit out of dickheads. It's comedic, okay? For fun. And I've got another cartoon also called Real World 2000. If anybody wants to watch my cartoons, you can go onto the Animation Arena channel, and please subscribe and enjoy my cartoons. Okay, I make them myself for fun. And anyway, going back to what I was saying, alright, you know, I don't live as part of society as such. It's like I work in a society, I have a job that I'm doing now. I wish I could have a better job, you know, like a movie director or something like that, you know, really doing creative stuff, selling books, or, because in my free time, like I've told you, I like to make cartoons, my animated cartoons. I like to draw. I like to make my own little simple comics, and I even like to write movie scripts. I'm not the best writer, but I've written some short stories and movie scripts, and I do that. So I would love to get my material out there and do some, you know, creative stuff. But what I'm saying is like, I don't live as part of society, even though I'm working in different jobs. Like right now I'm a teacher in society, so I am in Chinese society now, but it's like, I'm British, as you know, but I'm just saying, I don't try to blend in with any of these effing societies, excuse my language, right? It's like, really, I don't believe in the things that most people believe in, such as this corny, fake-ass shit. Martial arts teaches you to be true and honest to yourself in reality. So I will not be able to survive well in society if I don't follow to the extent I wish to survive in that society. But it's like, I don't want to be part of that society, so that's why I don't put too much effort in trying to be it. I want to live my own peaceful life and be part of a society where people are like me and think the same way as me. Just like monks who go to temples, and you're not going to go and criticise them all, are you? So what I'm trying to say, okay, it's like, for me, it's like, I don't believe, for example, in like everybody who goes around wearing a shirt and a tie, a smart suit, let's say, to be smart, because it's accepted when you go to a business meeting and all of this. And yes, and you have to have your gelled hair, gelled back, and the way people carry on, and you know it's male grooming. You know, I need a shave. You can see I look like a bum in this video. I'm banged up old fucking homeless man t-shirt. Excuse my language. So I express myself freely. But I don't believe in these fake things that these people believe in a society. But they give you, they sell to you what you will buy in society. They sell what you buy only, right? So you keep buying into it. It's like you have to wear a suit, you have to go in this and that. Smart, it's acceptable, appropriate for certain occasions, you know, and you have to do this, and you have to have your hair, you have to walk a certain way, you have to give a handshake a certain way, you have to act as confident in a certain way, you have to write a CV in a certain way, you have to speak in a certain way. There's so many things so that you can get along in society, as in what's accepted and what seems more professional and what's this and that. Well, you know what, I don't give a damn. Because back in the day, you had monks in robes, and they've got their own kind of uniform, fair enough also. But it's like, I'm saying, you know what I mean, like pure truth though, it's like a monk should be, like, as in pure. I don't live in religion, I'm trying to say spiritual, truthfully, like living in nature, living in the mountains, living in a temple, you build your own home from rocks and that you do your gardening. I live by those principles, I'll say that, to a degree. I'm living as a teacher, I'm a normal person, I'm living here in China, but I'm just as a teacher in colleges, and it's like normal life, so I have to go along with most of it. And I love modern stuff, I love technology, I love, of course, normal life, like the city life, and I love all that. I like the modern, you know, I love computers, cameras, all that, movies, computer games even, but I don't get much time for that now. You know, I'm Western too, and I'm English, I'm doing, what I'm saying though is like, I don't live by that crap, you know, I live by the martial code. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke or take drugs and that. I don't fucking, excuse my language, I don't vote for marijuana, oh yeah, legalise this, legalise that, you know, delegalize that, blah, this and this, blah, blah. And don't worry about anything they point out on this fake stuff on the news and all this crap. It's a mindset problem, so it's a mind thing. So martial arts is definitely about the mind, especially, right? So I live to be as pure as possible. I believe in true things like, it's like I believe the basic thing, you man and woman was put on the earth, or man and woman is on the earth, or yin and yang, yin yang, okay, is on the earth, the female, the male, the light, the dark, the balance, and all of those philosophies and principles. I guess you find it in this Taoism and things like that. But I'm talking about religion, I'm just saying though, I believe in reality. You know, you put a monk or someone in his baggy monk's robes and you put him in an office and let him do his computer typing or he's working on a building site or whatever, but he will feel more comfortable. You see what I'm trying to say? So this is just the reality. You don't have to be wrapped up like a mummy as such, wrapped up by society, packaged, and you have to speak this way, you have to eat this, you have to eat that, you have to say things a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to fight a certain way. You see what I'm trying to say? It's like we have to follow a lot of that in society, but that's just brainwashing stuff. When effectively you could do much more in life, and I find a lot of people are brainwashed in this day and age. So now you probably haven't even got the patience to catch up with what I'm talking. I'm not saying you, any of my good friends online said, for example, there's people watching this who probably have no patience to sit through what I'm actually saying here and understand. It just said I'm not getting to any point on the actual fighting aspect of MMA and traditional martial arts, even though I seem to think I really am. When am I going to get round to it, right? You're waiting there now. This is the thing. I've told you, this is going to take video after video after video after video of different points. In this video, it may seem like I'm giving you a load of mixed up mumbo-jumbo jargon, but I can see in my mind the actual parts I'm breaking this thing up into, what I'm actually saying here. Okay, first of all, I was talking about traditional martial arts and MMA, again, saying that why and how I'm trying to stand up strongly for the traditional martial arts, and what the problem is I actually see with the attitudes today. The second part was I was talking to you about my friends and stuff recently, right, who have given me support, okay, on my videos, and I was talking about some of the points you were mentioning about fighting arts over the years, and it's very hard to say what was traditional, what is or was true martial arts and things like that, because to an extent there's always been different arts over the years trained, and I covered that point. I covered the point also that I don't like violence. I covered the point also that traditional martial arts skills are, you know, they were designed to be able to fight in any way and very effectively, including all the aspects of the training in the forms and katas, and the killing arts. I mean, really, you know, in terms of what they could do, the moral was there. Then we got on to the last part, what I just was speaking about just then, okay, about the mindset in today's modern society. This is just one video, basically. It's like one topic mixed with many topics in this one video. But I'm going to go into certain aspects and different topics again when I plan the different videos that I will do, but I don't know how it's going to help and how much I can share in videos, because it's so hard if people haven't got that right mindset when I'm speaking mumbo, babble. But I'm just saying, you know, I even mentioned my cartoons, didn't I, in this video too. But basically, so it's like this, okay, it's like this and like that, rat-a-tat-tat. But no, you know, so the mindset is the most important. I don't live in that kind of a culture, in that kind of a mindset of society. I live in my own world. I live in a peaceful world where I don't need to get into arguments with anybody. I understand myself. I'm humble myself. I want to seek the good, like, you know, I just feel my own energy. That's what I feel, my own energy. And I'll be creative in my own time. So what I'm going to say, okay, is that I'm going to finish this video by just giving a last point, okay, It's very deep, the kind of energy I'm talking about, how you utilize energy from any position and how to be able to defend from any angle and use it from still positions as well as moving, and how you be so solid and yet so flowing in a traditional art in terms of the actual embodiment, the essence of yin and yang, basically yin yang, right? That's one thing. But what I'm going to say to finish this off, just forgot what I was going to say. Shit, I just forgot what I was going to say. The last point I'm going to say in this video. Damn that. Damn, I'm just going to say something to you. Alright, but I'll finish by saying it this way, right? What I will say is this, it's the energy. It's the energy of the self, it's the actual flow, it's the actual doing nothing as such first, and feeling. It's not doing, it's feeling. That is the beginning step, or what surrounds the step as such. It's like you have to do something. It's like you've got to learn to. I can't explain it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like you have to learn to feel before you do. That's what I'm saying. So in all combat arts, most people are just doing. Now, can you feel without doing first of all, and then let that transcend, go across over into when you are doing to be able to feel? So what the fuck am I talking about, right? You can't understand. I'm not saying feel the surrounding energy, feel that which is not you, so that you are separated and you feel yourself, that you are truly separated from the negative, from the opposite. You're carved out as a silhouette. You feel yourself, you feel the energy from within, through all the channels in all your body. It's as though you're standing in water and you can feel this energy flowing around you and feel. It's just, I can't put this into words. It's just so deep, and it's something that I can feel, even myself. I know what it is. It's like when you're doing pushing hands with someone, or sticky hands or this or that, Wing Chun or Tai Chi, you can feel that kind of a flow, right? Or you get two people together pushing, put their arms together. When you feel the person put more pressure, you start to retreat and you follow, back and forth. The whole bit. Can you do that when you're standing away? It's like when someone's boxing, like two boxers, and one guy's there fluidly moving, and the other guy is dodging back in and dodging. You can see the way the guy's moving. He's moving with him as such, even though they didn't make contact yet. Can you do that with your whole body? How about, can you do that with your whole spirit before your body? You know what, I better stop this video now because it's not getting anywhere. It's not getting anywhere. You better, Richard, go and have a shave, man. You're going to fucking clue what you're talking about. I know, anyone out there, anyone, I'm just saying that. I'm going to go now. I'll make more videos. But the true deep martial arts, in the terms of the real training, what they were doing back in the day, I mean, especially the styles I'm talking about. If we were back in the ancient days and it was like some of these Chinese or Japanese, these kind of arts I'm talking about, right? If we had those arts and then other arts from like other parts of the world, let's say, like you mentioned, I think, right? For me, it would still be. For me, I still see more good in those arts, the Chinese, and then the Japanese and things like that. Natural art. Bearing in mind that, what the hell do I know? First of all, I wasn't around in the ancient days, but it's like things before that too. I mean, there were things before all of that. We don't know the actual origins. I mean, the feeling of energy and the kind of feeling of energy that I'm talking about. You hear people talk about auras around people, and you hear people talking about the energy. It sounds like I'm speaking a load of magical mumbo jumbo, because I come across as this little British kid here talking like I think I effing know everything, and I'm speaking like this in my fucking t-shirt here. Excuse my language, but you see what I'm trying to say now? Really, I'm just being honest what I'm saying, And I'm coming from a literal monk type source when I'm speaking. I am absolutely that. I'm not some spiritual man, I'm living in a day hippie. I'm saying really, this thing is deep. And people just don't get the point. And they will never, if they keep being physical, just muscle, external. It's not what it's about. Their external skills will always be weak if they're not training with this, what methods I'm talking about. And they're not on the actual that way, and and they're not going to develop their physical good enough either. They're not going to be flexible enough, they're not going to have the balance and all the basic things also, because their moves are just set to the way they train. But it's like, not only that, but they're just so limited on all levels. They're just so limited on all levels. They are so limited on all levels. I could give you a very good answer, very good example, and this is a really honest, good example, I think, here. Let's think of some kind of tree, okay, some kind of tree branch, okay? Some kind of tree branch, like a bamboo, or there's something of a branch on a tree, which is like bent into a certain shape, or it can bend into certain shapes. It's a bit strong, a bit flexible, but it's like very strong and flexible also. It's very strong and it's very flexible. I've said that, it's very strong and it's very flexible. But it's not water, is it? When that falls in the water, in the rapids in the river, water is different. It's a different thing, isn't it? So I'm not going to give you an example and say like MMA guys are just like ice and they're not flowing like water, or they're just like stone. And I'll say they've got a bit of flexibility. You know, it's like when you see them doing like jiu-jitsu and they've got even the stand-up basics and stuff before they take them down, and there's like grappling and things like that, and they stand and they're strong in their structure. They've got internal, external, they've got it all. I know in terms of the way they train, they've got physicality and methods of leverage and that, but it's nowhere near as fluid as real Kung Fu ways. Say for example, Kung Fu, Kung Fu, Wushu, Tai Chi, Bagua. Then you go into the different arts, things like I like, which are like, you know, Aikido, Hapkido, Ninjutsu, which is like Taijutsu. But now I'm going to go more and more to different arts. And yes, there are some arts which are more watered down or more structural and more complex and more less like what I'm trying to talk about here. And there are so many arts. Then we get into the realms of combat, and then we start to go into things like what Mike Reese was talking about, and saying fighting methods have been going for years, and what am I actually going on about, right? Because it doesn't come across anything enough. I'm not speaking about magic. I'm not trying to come across like I know everything. I'm not trying to come across like spiritual and this energy, this feeling. And it's like, it's so hard to explain what I'm trying to say. You have to literally feel it to know that when you're standing in a certain position, you see someone in some kind of Tai Chi form position or something, it's like, okay, that's a block, that's a palm, and he's standing in a horse-riding stance, or someone just in any kind of position. It's hard to say, to explain so that people can't see the actual point, that from any angle you have to literally train with people. You have to train with people, you have to stand there in any stance, what you might know from a traditional form, let's say, and say, okay, let me put that to the test. And not only to the test, I'm going to make this thing work for me. And get a couple of tough guys to come and try and take you down to the ground. They can use MMA if they like. They can use just free fighting, whatever. And get the place matted up if you want to be careful, you know, or on some grassy area or something. And stand in a Kung Fu stance with some kind of, it's really flashy, so take any position from some kind of stance, and get someone to come grabbing you, try to take you down. Then you start to realise that you start to learn about your balance. When the guy pushes your shoulder, you start to fall over in a certain way. When the guy starts grabbing your hips, you might feel your thighs, you start sinking your weight slightly, and you start feeling technique. And now, when I start saying these kind of things, it might start sending sparks to your brain signals now. But we do that in Jiu-Jitsu. Haven't you seen it when someone stands strong and gets into different positions? Yeah, or Judo. I know. But traditional Kung Fu and true martial arts and karate and the ancient ways, I'm telling you, and Tai Chi and everything like that, is different. It really is different. You've got so much, it's like the ultimate fluidity and the ultimate hard and soft together, or soft and hard in the flow. It's like you're putting so much weight, it's like someone pushing on that door from one side there, and I said, there's someone pushing on a door with all their power, and the door just comes flying open because there's nothing behind it to hold it back. And it's like, but it's not like you had to move out the way and make a big movement, you just slip slightly and the guy goes flying. It's like when you're standing on ice, in my army, this is ice, okay, like a road of ice, and you get something standing on the ice, and it slightly goes a little bit, not straight, but a little bit diagonal. If it's a heavy thing, then all of the weight will go zip, it will slip on the ice. It's not the ice that's dangerous, it's the amount of weight you've got. So when you're doing Tai Chi and stuff, and Tai Chi, for example, I'm not an expert, I'm just saying, like these people in the day doing this fucking, give my language, daydreaming Tai Chi, a lot of these people, I'm not fucking being sincere, I'm saying that real Tai Chi, you're talking about your whole centre of balance, and you start to learn that, not even when you're doing the form, but you start to learn that you're doing any position you could be in, you just stop. Someone will grab you from the back or whatever, try to impose their power on you in any way, and you just end up flying the guy away. He's literally flying away. You're able to literally do amazing things. With a short change in your body, the guy just spins there, and you go into a neck-breaking, cracking position of some kind, like you see in Aikido, Steven Seagal, these are just basic fight tactics in traditional real martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Easy to kill someone, it would be technique-wise, I'm saying. Not that you would want to do that. But I'm saying when you go to the deeper training for yourself, it's like finding peace in yourself, like the monks would have done, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, then you don't need to, when you start to learn how easy life is, when it's such a deep training, it's far beyond the regiments that people put themselves through in gyms and MMA gyms. You see how cut up they are, how strong their muscle chiseled up, the way they train, and some of them guys are more flexible and more fluid too, as I've said, and they really train hard. They are like warriors, they're like military in the way they train, they're so strong. But I'm saying, for the true traditional martial arts guys, they'll be far beyond that even. That stuff would be easy. That's like kids training. It's like so basic, just learning the basics. It's like just learning punches, kicks and stances and that, the same way as, you know what I mean? But it's like, and then takedown. To be able to be like the champion MMA guy, the real high level fighter, that's like such a low thing to be. The better a fighter you are the best fighter. You know what I mean? But it's like, there are guys who are not good at fighting and they'll be humble in themselves, but they can kill the best fighter like that. And they can avoid all forces of all negativity like that. So then what's the need to you learn fighting? But the thing is, in martial arts you have to go through that process and you have to learn all of that, really. I'm just saying, that's just the kind of philosophy. It's amazing. It really is. So you learn all of these different methods to understand them. But it's like so deep. I'm not getting to any point. I know that you just can't understand what I'm saying. I know you can't. I'm not expecting anyone to leave comments on this video saying things like they understand as such, even maybe to some level, but there's definitely going to be something I've said in this video that seems so mystical, so far beyond this and that. And the only answer I'm going to say to you is that there's not a lesson as such that I expect you to learn from this, what I'm saying in this video. I'm just saying that this is part of a verbal journey, rambling, of how I can express what I'm actually trying to talk about to anyone out there. If any point's going to help you in your life, even if you take it and say, well, that's rubbish, I can think better than that and do better than that, fair enough, I want to inspire people. But I'm just saying, that's the good thing, you've got your own mind. But I'm saying that verbally, in videos, I'm going to have to just share in different videos, It's not the end of it. It's not the end of it at all, but training is the best thing you can do. Forget videos and listening to people. The best thing really, I'm saying, is to go and train with people and train with yourself and think about what you're doing. But people don't take their traditional martial arts serious, even the people that do them. They take certain aspects serious. The teacher will teach them certain things, locks, wrist lock. Someone grabs you by the throat, gets into a wrist lock. Okay, someone does this, you do. And they, you know what I mean? It's like so technical, and they learn the moves well, and they do them well in the dojos. Sometimes maybe in real life a bit too. But it's not always perfect. It doesn't always work out so well in real life like that. And then there's different aspects like the sparring as well. But it's like they're not able to separate things like the form and cutters and things. They're not able to take normal everyday positions and start to be formless and shapeless, like Bruce Lee said, like water. They're not able to start to really feel the energy from any angle. I could be standing like this, or any position and stand, Whereas at home I'm standing and let someone try to ground me and chuck me to the ground, slam me into the wall, hold me, restrain me. I've trained other people, just getting people to hold me down in different angles and see how I could flow around using the martial arts that I do. Mainly it's Wing Chun and a bit of Tai Chi. Karate and like 5 animal kung fu elements I put into them as well, but it's like mainly Wing Chun and Tai Chi blended. That's the way I do my main basic fighting. Basically like punches and kicks and kickboxing. I like Muay Thai and striking. Like I said, the actual feeling and the flow. Locks and things like I do certain locks and things like that, a lot of that actually, which you'll find in things like Hapkido and Aikido, my favourite Aikido, but it's like Ninjutsu, Taijutsu, barbed wire. You find a lot of similar arts and methods in different arts, right? Even Krav Maga, Sistema, you see people doing things in those even. You know what I mean? Was it Pentak, Silat, I know Taekwondo, Karate, different systems of karate, Tang Soo Do, I know there's many different arts, but I'm saying, what I mainly do is like Wing Chun and Tai Chi, the way I'm doing it. I like to do the pushing hands and things like that, sticky hands, trapping and like shooting in with the strikes, working the upper and the lower, working my guard. I've got my own kind of a flow in the way I move, with like the wushu basics I've had before, judo, karate and that, you know, so I just do it the way I do it. But I'm saying like, people aren't learning the deeper in the meaning and the breathing and all that, and the elements, and we did basic Qigong before and I was learning about that, just basic, but like, they don't understand the focus of it. Things like dynamic tension, things like relaxing the muscles in certain ways and then breathing and then controlling, focusing your energy and your breathing as though it's like going to different parts of your body and focusing on balancing in different ways and all kinds of, you know what I mean, it's like people do yoga and stuff like that. You've got ice skating, ballet and dancing, you know, different things, but some of these guys are good. It's like you get people who do basketball and then they go out into fights on the street or whatever and they end up like getting themselves knocked out with because they're not applying the basketball abilities in the real life situation when they could, when real martial arts is teaching you that you can apply the physicality and the mental side to everything in your life, be more flowing and be more totally in control, so you can start or stop anything, including time. You can control the space around you, you know what I mean, like it's less or more space, like you can do magic almost. It's really, really unbelievable with the actual way that you train, the way you flow. But the basics first of all, of course, is like learning like inner balance and like learning all these different kung fu movements and flowing methods of training of kung fu and traditional martial arts fighting methods. But if you just got the wrong mentality and you learn things which are really good, let's say like, you know, simple to the point, just basic boxing, you know, MMA or Muay Thai, a bit of grappling, you learn that and it might work for you, it's good enough. I know even for self-defense in the street it might be good enough for some situations, you know, in the ring, whatever, fair enough. I'm just saying, right, like, you know, it's like could you do well? You could. Could you challenge channel your mind, energy, and your flowing power and energy into just basic moves like that? Yes, you could. But it's not to be complex or BSing around. Traditional real martial arts is there to make you more whole. It's more full in itself, it's more full of itself, full in itself, more full, wholesome, it's more to make you whole, it brings you together with all this knowledge, it really brings you into a different being on this planet, and I really mean that. I absolutely do. I thank you for watching a long video. Thank you everybody. I will make more videos explaining certain points, but the best advice I can give you is don't give up on any traditional martial arts you've learned. Make it work. Learn from the stillness, holding certain positions. Learn of how to slightly change the angle or slightly flow into a different move. Learn to flow, learn to feel what it means to be like shapeless, like a ball almost, or like so soft and so hard at different times, like water, and be able to forget someone to try to chuck you to the ground, get someone to be careful, of course, but really putting pressure on grabbing you from the side there, or from someone from behind, someone just try to learn to sit your weight and find where the hole is and flow, you know, and flow with that and then learn, then play with the distance and like that way you can strike. And you'll start to learn a lot of things. If you've ever learned any locks or things like that, think about how you can do that in different ways. People, or how you can apply the energy before. Next time you're doing that, a wushu form or like a karate kata, do moves and don't just do the moves in the air, with power. I mean, do it, feel energy. as though you're feeling as though you're inside water, and feel this, and start leaning over, feeling the balance. God, there's less balance on that leg. You start to feel with the balance and feel the actual technicality of it. And you say, well, okay, it's very exaggerated, this kind of flashy movie here. How would I use that in real life? And then you start to think about that. When would it be used? Where would it be used? People misinterpret these forms and katas, and of course they're not going to work if you start doing all those flashy moves in a real fight on the street against thugs or against MMA guys in the ring. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? Some big stance, you know. It works for different movements. So grappling, you know, working out of grabs, different locks, subtle ones, subtle movements as well as exaggerated, bigger movements, I should say. Striking, all that epic stuff. But you know, I hate it when I see people talking about things like, oh, you know, you want to spend as less time as possible on the ground. You don't want to spend any time on the ground. It should be no time you get off your ass, stand up and get out of there, avoid the fight. Go through your life trying to avoid confrontations and violence. If you have to fight, you want to stand up there, and the opponent's going to put himself down. You just help him, guide him with what he's doing. If he wants to fall that way, fall that way. And you see the openings like it's nothing. With strikes, you're able to intercept. You know, you're able to go in before they think about attacking. You're able to seal the open doors. Your mind's faster. You're more aware, and you become more. It's like magic. You are able to avoid the situation before they start to come into being, because the negativity, you're not planting the seed of negativity, are you? You don't give them ideas. It should be about invisibleness. That's the invincibleness. It's like the ninja, the true master's inside you. It should be about things like, you know, all warfare is based on imagination, deception, they say, right? So the mind's the first thing, definitely. Mind is a powerful weapon. The mind is the thing. But it's like, you know, in terms of the training though, the physical training is just totally different, the flowing stuff. But people see all this fluid kung fu and flashy moves and they think it's a joke. And you see someone like Jackie Chan or someone in a film doing it, and they say, oh, that's funny, look, kung fu, yeah, you know, kung fu hustle. And they start making up all this bullshit. Or even things like, you know, even like Yip Man and then the new film. I mean, people don't really understand what it's about. They just think it's some flashy thing, oh yeah, kung fu. The reality is real. I mean, real martial arts were real. And people just don't have a damn clue in this day and age how beautiful it was, how it was. It's like living in this day and age, and we can't see it. Sadly, there's other like long lost beauties and things that were made in history. It's like the most beautiful. I'll give you a good example. Some of the most beautiful girls that may have died in history, you know. Just for example, you know, they might have died in centuries ago. We'll never get to see them, you know. That's for all the normal men out there who just can't stand the thought of missing a beautiful girl. I'm just joking. I'm also really though, you know what I mean? It's like something that has just gone in time and you'll never see it again, you know. You never, so people don't have a clue. So if we are able to hold on to any of the knowledge, we're just going to try and stand up for what you know that there was more before us. Be humble about it, you know, not be of ego about it just because what we've got now. You don't burn a whole library down to the ground just because you've got like iPhones now. You've got like e-books and things like that. There may be a lot of knowledge in there. Wait a moment, you know, and it stood for something also. You know, I mean, it's got a lot of knowledge in there. You haven't read every book in that library either. You know what I mean? And you give it a chance to everybody else. Someone might have bad eyes to look on the digital. They let them read a book. You know what I mean? You can't destroy the paths of yesterday, because there were people walking up and down in paths. There was wise men walking up and down in paths. You know what I mean? You don't totally ignore every old person. You don't chuck away old knowledge. You don't laugh at the face of old people. That's really ignorant. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So the truth is, right, the person who invented the gun, you know what I mean? The people that, you know, well, before that even, like, that's why you've got like all this modern technology today and weaponry or things like in computer games and things like that, special sophisticated weapons in computer games that kids are playing on, you know, whatever, whoever, you know, it's like they don't have a clue. That people in today's time, they don't have a clue where yesterday came from. Back in the day, people weren't playing around with real kung fu. I'm rambling now. With real martial arts, it was the knowledge, not to be messed with, and not to be taken lightly. And it can improve anyone's life. I'm going to stop this message, this video, okay, I'm going to stop this video because there's nothing else more to say in this particular video, okay? Thank you so much for your time. If you've sat through this, the best thing you can do is, as I've said, is practice, think about what I've said, but also the best thing you can do is practice, as I said, trying to make the impossible, maybe, these forms and cutters and things, you try and make them work by training with friends or anyone practicing and getting people to literally carefully chuck you down onto mats or whatever, or into a grassy area. Learn to stand up and try to, whatever happens, learn to stand up and try not to get thrown down. If you are, get standing up quick as possible. If you should, it's good to learn some ground fighting and all that, yes. But we don't need to always, be trying to go down to the ground at all, never occasionally. To learn to stand up and learn to, divert the force and the energy with any part of your body from any angle, from whichever way they come at you, and learn to cover and block from any angle, and learn to be fast and see the opening before they even think about striking, and think about setting them up and how to go in. It's very technical. Wing Chun sticky hands is a very, very good art. Tai Chi is a very good art, but it's like, it's just basic, I'm just saying. Not because I do it, because I do it kind of crap. A lot of people that do real Wing Chun and Tai Chi would put me down and laugh at me and say my skills crap. Okay, we'll show something then, Richard. They'll see me do a bit of basic Tai Chi, because it's basic stuff that I do, forms and that, or some basic pushing hands, and they'll say it's crap. Or I do like my sticky hand and they'll say it's crap. It's like, I know when I blocked and that guy was like going to hit my face, I know that won't work. When that guy comes falling in, pushing me, I know to take a step back, the guy falls off a balance, then I can work into my locks, get him into it, I can strike there in the head with the elbow. There's so many things I can do in terms of like combat, and I can make it work for me in terms of self-defense. It's very sophisticated, the art, if you know how to work them. And people who know what I'm talking about do know what I'm talking about. They will know from their training, you know what you feel. But I could share a damn lot to some people out there who do traditional martial arts also, if they'd be willing to listen, if they'd be willing to train with me, rather than just looking at me like a pussy because they can't keep it humble, or thinking they know it all, or the people out there that do MMA, it's the same thing, they just don't want to listen because they just do what they do, and that's it, and this and that. Fair enough. But you might not be interested, but people don't have to like put it down. And I know there's not a lot of people out there doing it, you know what I mean? I'm putting everybody down, and I know, I'm not saying they are, but this is part of the point what I'm trying to share, okay? I've not got much of a point out, have I, in this video? All I've said is just train hard, think about what you're doing, and you can watch this again, I don't know, take notes, take one note, take half a note if you like, and then take that into your life, and then find a million, billion more, whatever you want to find from it, whatever's in your training. Thank you so much for watching. I'm kind of rambling. Thank you so much for the support, okay? Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, guys.